princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Morphe Hint Hint Skin Tint. I picked this up like ages ago now, like months and months, but life has been very busy and even though I have been using it quite a lot, I just haven't had the time to sit down and talk about it. School holidays at the moment, I have the time. So this one I picked up because I was really interested in getting a really nice tinted moisturizer for the summer and the autumn period. It is now winter and I'm still interested in tinted moisturizers, which is really great. So I actually saw this one in the Becca Cosmetica in New Zealand here, but I was really interested in it because I was also looking at a few of the other products and I ended up buying a whole bunch of that same light range, and I've already done a get ready with me on them as well. I just neglected to do this one until now. So in this review I'm going to be talking about the product description, packaging and swatches. I'm going to be doing the application and longevity, and then I'm going to be doing final thoughts. So if you'd like to skip to any of those points, please do so now. So for the product description it says, keep it easy. This lightweight yet long-wearing fluid tint hydrates and provides buildable sheer to medium coverage. The naturally radiant finish lets your skin shine through while also smoothing and blurring imperfections. You'll be looking at fresh face with just a few drops. The packaging of the product is really nice. It comes in a light glass bottle with a dropper top. I really enjoy the dropper top because of course this is a very lightweight and fluid product. I think that it's the best way to actually disperse the product, so I'm a big fan of that. I picked up the shade Hint of Cream, which is fair with golden undertones. This is probably the closest shade that I could get because the first one is, there's one more lighter than that, and that one is Hint of Ivory, but that is fair to neutral pink undertones. And I definitely do not have pink undertones, I definitely have more golden or yellow undertones, so I went for the one that had the correct undertones for me. However, it is slightly too dark. I'm wearing them at the moment. It is slightly off in comparison to my neck and the rest of my chest area, but it matches my hands pretty well, so you take what you can take. There are a few ways that I can apply this foundation. I'm going to be actually using a brush, which is very unlike me. I would normally use something like a cushion puff, but I feel like the texture and the formula of this foundation is more suitable to a brush like this. This one is the 104 buffer brush from Zoeva. You can also use your fingers, but I find it takes longer and then my fingers have foundation on them. So I may as well just use a brush. So I've given the foundation a good shake and I'm going to pick some up in the dropper top, and then I'm just going to drop it straight onto the brush. It's like basically a whole drop, and then I'm going to dot it normally on my face, but because I'm going to try and do a half coverage, I really should have used a half a dropper top for that, but that's okay. I'll buff it out later. So this is super quick and easy to apply. It's literally like the lightest, like serum-y finish ever. Because I had too much on the brush, I'm not going to fully blend it in, but this is how it looks in comparison to no foundation. It's a little dark, so the colour is a little bit off, but because I'm actually going to blend it out a little bit more, you're not going to notice as much. There is a small scent to the foundation. It kind of smells a bit like sunscreen, which I'm fine with. I like it. I think it smells nice. So usually what I would do is I would dot the foundation evenly on my face. At the moment I'm just picking it up from the other side and moving it to the other side of my face. And I'm just using firm swiping motions. This brush, oh my gosh, so nice. Very like soft and fuzzy. Even though you can see my skin moving like that, it doesn't feel like it's being tugged or whatsoever, which I love, and it's just super easy to use. So then when I feel like I've got an even application of the actual product, I'm going to go in and just kind of like do little circles and buff it into my skin a little bit, especially in areas where I have like slightly drier parts, like around my eyes. I'm just going to do that really gently, and then I also use like a little bit of a finger to help in with that eye socket, because the brush is not quite small enough to get into there. But I find that, yeah, it's just this little extra circular motion helps out heaps because it makes it look like it's like actual skin. You can see now also that the color match is better. Like it's not 100% perfect, it's still a bit dark, but it's at least like the right kind of tones. When you look at my hands, my face looks like it matches my hands a bit more. My hands are substantially darker than the rest of my body. Just due to incidental sun exposure. I'm not going to put very much on my birthmark whatsoever because of how light the coverage is. It's not really going to do anything, but it gets a little wash, and that is it. It is super quick, even more quick than I just did it then because I was trying to make it look really nice for the camera. So I'm going to zoom you in to see the coverage and the finish of the foundation, and then I'll show you what it looks like powdered as well. So here is the forehead. It looks pretty good. You can see my little lines here. It doesn't really do anything to cover the little lines, so they're just there, that's fine. Around the eyes and the cheeks, you can still see like the little flaws and the redness in the skin a little bit. It's just a little bit more like perfected. So it's just really light. You can see the freckles up front here. And then when I smile, you can look at the smile lines. They're fine. That's just what they normally look like. No worse. No worse. And then around the mouth and the chin, you can see the scars on the upper lip there. That's a really deep one. And then the redness on the cheek. See the color difference. There's some more redness, and then of course there's the birthmark. So while we're a little close in, I'm just going to powder one half of my face. I'm going to be using my Barbie powder from EG Lips because that's what I'm using at the moment. And my large fluffy brush is from Zoeva. It is the 106 powder brush. I got as a gift earlier this year from my sister-in-law. And I love it. I can't go back to my real techniques now because it feels like super sharp. Which it isn't really, it's just in comparison. So I'm going to apply a light layer of the powder over one half of my face here. And you can kind of see the difference. So this is the half without the powder. It's really glowy, it's really luminous. When you touch the skin, it does feel like really moisturized skin. It doesn't feel like some of the other foundations where you get that really beautiful glowy finish, but it doesn't feel like it sets. Which I'm primarily talking about the Edgy House Double Lasting Foundation. That one has the most beautiful finish, but I feel like it never sets on my skin, and so it's really easy to come off when I touch my face, even if I set it with powder. And then this is the powdered side, which again feels nice and smooth, very velvety, and it still looks really nice. It's a little less luminous, a little bit more like, I don't want to say like dull skin, but you know, there's just something that's not quite as good when you powder it. I do feel like you could probably get away with not powdering it if you don't have very oily skin, but if you do have oily skin, I would recommend at least doing the T-zone. You don't actually really need to do your cheeks. I'm just doing it out of force of habit at the moment, because yeah, my nose will get oily. Today is going to be a short wear test because I am sick and I slept in. There's not really enough time. It is at the moment 11:30. Just a little sleep in. And I'm going to go out about my day, and then I'll hopefully check in around like 8 PM tonight for the final check-in. But I'm going to do the rest of my makeup, and then I'm going to show you some of the different lighting shots as well. So this is like the indoor lighting that's away from the lights. It's further back. But I'll show you a few different types once I have the rest of the makeup on. So here we are in direct filtered light. So if I'm standing close to a window that's got nice blinds on it, this is what you can see. Here we have indirect indoor lighting, so just basically what you can see inside. And then we've got the outside lighting, of which the sun is like way too bright for me to actually open my eyes, but this is what you can see. So here we are at the 5.5 hour mark for the foundation. I'm using just like the last of the natural light, and the skin is looking pretty good. It is slightly oily on the forehead and then also around the nose. The nose is always the worst part. So you can see there, like that's really quite oily and shiny, but the rest of the face is looking pretty good. So I'm not too worried about it. I do of course have some glasses marks, just little ones there and there at the moment, but again, pretty usual for glasses. So I'm going to check in at the end of the day as well in some less natural lighting. So here's the foundation after about 9 hours wear. It's not looking too bad. On my forehead it is a little bit oily, as well as on my nose. You can definitely see the shine. I don't feel like it's lost that much coverage because I don't think it had that much to begin with. And when I wipe my nose, you can kind of see that a little bit of that shine goes away, but it doesn't leave a big hole. So I have definitely been enjoying this product so much, and I have like a few things that I really like and a few things that I don't like as much. They actually have this really nice like benefits list, so I'm just going to go through a few of like the benefits and talk about them. So the first benefit is that it says that it lasts for up to 16 hours. I'm not really sure what they mean by 16 hours. Like, do they mean that it lasts like you have a little bit of coverage, or do they mean like oil resistant for like 16 hours. 16 hours is a fairly long day. I'm not really sure about that. I feel like when I wear it, it doesn't wear that great on me. In particular, my nose and my forehead get really oily, and it really does show, and so I tend to like blot my skin down with a piece of tissue or blotting paper, and that works really well for me. So I'm not mad about it whatsoever. However, I feel like when they say it lasts up to 16 hours, what does that actually mean? I don't know. It says it's water resistant, sweat resistant, and transfer resistant. I would say that it's definitely not transfer resistant. If I put my phone to my face, it'll definitely transfer onto my phone. I don't really sweat that much because one, it's not summer, and two, I'm not going out running or doing any actual exercise where in fact I would sweat in this product, so I cannot test that one for you. Same with water resistant. I haven't taken it swimming or anything. I wouldn't wear makeup if I was swimming because I don't care that much, but that's my personal preference, and others may feel differently about that. So I would say look to some other reviews to see if it actually is water resistant. It's the middle of winter, I'm not getting in a pool. Hydrate skin for up to 12 hours. I actually would agree with this to some extent. I feel like the product itself is really moisturizing, and I feel like when I take it off, my skin does feel significantly nicer in comparison to the majority of the other products that I have been putting on my face at the moment, with the exception of the Innisfree Simple Label Tinted Moisturizer, which for some reason is still in its purgatory packaging. I haven't had time to do anything. But yeah, I would agree that I feel like this is a moisturizing and hydrating foundation. Seals in moisture and nourishes dry skin. I feel like that is very similar to the hydrate skin for up to 12 hours claim, so I would go for that. And non-comedogenic and vegan, I don't know anything about that, so I'm not going to address that. In general, I really like this product. I'm super surprised that I like it as much as I do. It's definitely better than any of the other tinted moisturizer products that I've tried in the K-beauty world so far. So far, I feel like this one really nails that like sheer coverage, but still like hydrated and glowy, and looks like my skin without covering everything up, but it just gives me that all-round nice coloring. I feel like this one did such a great job. I will definitely be keeping this one in the collection, and I am still wanting to mix it in together with the Innisfree Simple Label Tinted Moisturizer into one of my old cushion compacts, so that I can get a little bit of the lightness from that moisturizer, but the tone of this one, because it is by itself just a bit off. I did consider also getting the other color, which is a hint of cream, and then like mixing those together. So depending on how it goes with mixing it in a cushion with the other moisturizer, maybe I'll get the other one too. They're so cheap. Like, they are so cheap, you may as well just get it. So if you're considering finding a skin tint and you're looking for something that's lightweight, looks like skin but like better skin, and you haven't found any of that so far, I would so recommend getting this one. I was slightly put off by the advertisements because it's the D'Amelio sisters, Charlie and Dixie, and I'm so not in that target demographic, but ignoring the fact that they are promoting it because I'm sure they're lovely, this is a really wonderful product, and I would definitely recommend it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!